All right, so this is what we're going to cover during this. We're going to have to do it really quick. We broke it down in time. We're going to have to cover what is a prophet, what are some of the prophetic errors that are plaguing our church right now, who has the authority to correct the prophet, and then we're going to do Q&A. And what I asked them, you guys, for those of you that have questions, because that's what I kept advertising, that you can be able to ask questions, is for them to give space, even if they need to talk less, so that you guys can ask your question and not fly in and not be able to ask your question. So that's what we're going to do here. Give Prophet Luther McKinstry a hand as he comes.
Thank you, sir. Bishop Borders, John Paul McGee, and Prophet Foster, can y'all please take the stage for me? Thank y'all. Thank you for me. Bishop Border, that's right. Have a spirit of boldness. We're not on this panel. What we're going to... we are there. Yeah, come on. Come on. Have a spirit of boldness. All right. Put your hands together for Bishop Borders as he comes with a spirit of boldness on today. All right. Bishop Boomer. Yeah, can you please? Yeah, thank you. I wanted to start this off today concerning, because we have a lot of prophets out here who is like a bunch of wild donkeys out here on out here. Yeah, Prophetess Jordan, I was trying to be nice. And so I was on the road, when I came home from prison in 1998, I was on the road full time in 2000. I had to have accountability to where my mother said, with me being gone every week, I had to be home at least 2 to 3 Wednesdays out of the month to get built back, to get poured back into, to get poured back out. And the only Sundays, and I just wanted to start it out with this, the only Sunday I was really at church was when it's her anniversary and Mother's Day. And each time she always wanted me to preach at the church. And if you come out of my mother's church, she critiques every preacher after they preach. She's going to make sure you know what you're saying and know how to put a sermon together and everything. And one Sunday I was there, and it was so much of a great move of God. The Lord moved, and people hit the altar. They was talking about your son preached, how there was a great move of God. And my mother called me that night to critique me, and she said, son, it was a great move. It was a phenomenal word which you preached today. She says, but you're not my son. And I sat there for a minute, Bishop House, and I said, what do you mean? She says, the ones that's in the church has more my spirit than you do. Wow. She says, you have picked up a Baptist spirit while you was out there. She says, come home and sit. Clear out your calendar for a month. I said, Mother, they got it advertised. They got it pushed. I might be out here. She says, either you clear it or I clear it. I came home and I sat. If anybody ever been to my mother's church, they know that you're going to eat some carpet during worship service. Yes, you're going to eat some carpet during worship service. And I came up off the floor in the midst of worship on the third week, and she tapped me on my leg. She said, son, you can go back out now. And now today, you have prophets that's out here who not only that has a discipline, but they don't have nobody to sit them down, because you got someone who claimed that, or a person who is their covering, but as soon as they try to go out and correct them, then they want to get on out, or they're going to try to find somebody else as their covering. I've never seen so many people who have so many fathers out here. Wow. And so because what a lot of them don't understand is, and I was always taught, you only operate under the anointing of the house that you come from. And she says that's the reason why you have to get poured back into every time you pour back out. So there was that structure that I had. That was that structure. So here we have out here, and you know, we have a lot of things, and we discussed it on the phone before, about you have prophets who try to go left, but then We got the things that's plaguing the church where I have to gone into certain places after certain prophets had went in there and try to clean some things up because after they messed up. So I was telling Bishop Jordan I wanted to have before we can have a discussion to put this together, see how this looks, how this is supposed to look. So not only how do we deal with the things that's plaguing the church, but also with correction, dealing with that. So I want to start out with Foster. I want to hear from you first, because you have a lot to say concerning that. Can we put our hands together for Prophet right now?
Mr. Prophet. Now, the question was, how do we deal with things that plague
The church right now,
Right
the things that are plaguing the church right now, where all these,
Well,
you
if
know,
we're
the
gonna deal
Facebook
with-
prophets,
If we're going to deal with,
yeah,
we'll-
all that stuff.
if we're going to deal with now, we have to deal with yesterday. Because you cannot deal with today without dealing with yesterday. And the challenges that we're having now are a product of challenges that we had yesterday. The Spirit of the Father is on the sons. Not the Father, but fathers. And so if you're looking at the sons, you're looking at the products of things. I was just talking about this to a guy just sitting right here. If you're looking at the sons, you have to go back and look at the fathers. Because the things that the sons are doing are things that the fathers were doing in the dark. So we didn't have social media back in the day. Yeah, I'm going to be real and raw. We didn't have social media. So while fathers, and I'm not against the fathers, I've got a good father. Fathers were doing things and they could not be uncovered because they weren't big enough for CNN. Now that we have like a Larry Reed Live, or we even have social media, you can do something right now and this can go viral in 2 seconds. And so exposure is coming to the house, but really we can't correct the house without correcting the past. Because I think it all starts with the fathers.
Are you saying that the fathers need to be corrected?
I am. I'm saying that fathers need to be corrected because it's still fathers. They might not be on front street, but there are still fathers who have sons that aren't bastards. They have the spirit of their father. I think it's Craig Rochelle talks about the mentor myth. And he says that when you have a mentor, that mentor not only gives you the good side of them, you can also collect the bad side of them. Instead of you revealing your mistakes to me, you kind of just show me your glory. And so I'm struggling over here with your mistakes. But when my father died, I didn't grow up with my father, but when he died and I did his funeral and I talked to his family, I realized a whole lot of things about me that I didn't know. Oh, this is why I act the way I act. This is why I love Apple computers. Because my dad had every Apple computer ever made. So that's my...
Before I know I get the other two, I want you to speak on concerning that fathers when he just said about concerning the fathers and what Bishop Jordan, on how you feel about that, concerning about what he just said concerning that. Because fatherhood is very important to you.
Yeah, for fatherhood is important to all of mankind, because without fathers and mothers, you don't have the continuation of life. I think the area I would take an issue with is not, which I agree with, that the father should be corrected. I think the question we need to ask is, how do you correct the father?